Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 27th of June, 2019, and this is episode 351. Before we get started, we have a statement to make. Dammy.
Yes.
Make a statement.
Okay. Ravelry has recently taken action to make their site safer and more inclusive. No matter your political leaning or your opinions on the action, we will not allow our podcast and the community surrounding it to become a place where intolerance, hatred, and white supremacy are allowed to thrive. We acknowledge that our podcast is known to be politically neutral, but we realize that many others do not have the privilege to separate the personal from the political. We do believe that the personal is political, and we will not be actively discussing politics on our podcast, but crafting in its community is our personal, so we need to make our feelings clear. Thank you to Ravelry for making this choice, and thank you to our community for supporting us. Please treat others with respect and love.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the rest of the show. Dammy, we'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To everyone who is joining us again. Now I feel weird because now I'm like, I don't have my thing. And a big hi to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us the shot. Hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, no one introduced themselves this week. Would you tell them what they should do and why?
You should join our group on Ravelry. Hit that join this group button at the top of the group page and introduce yourself in our introductions thread, because you'll get a shout out on our next episode and be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways.
That's correct. Well, we have some stuff to talk about today, so we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What's on your needles, Dammy?
So I am working on my Orpheus socks. These are going to be part of my Hadestown pattern collection whenever I get around to figuring out patterns for the rest of it and then writing them up and having them tested and published. But Orpheus is a sock, and here's a little bit of the pattern. You can't really see it since it's not blocked, but that's okay. They're on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles, and the yarn is Dye 4 yarn merino silk in the Spouting Lava colorway. This was from the Golden Ski in one summer, I think.
It's been a while.
I don't have the tags in here. They're somewhere else, so. But at this point last week, I had not found my instructions, and I found my instructions now. It's upside down. Early planning on Hadestown.
Hadestown.
Yes. This is vegan leather.
Are you going to wait and release the entire collection at one time, or are you going to release the patterns as you finish them?
I don't know. Because it would be cool to have them released one at a time, but with an even amount of spacing between each of them. So I think I need to get a bit more done on that if I wanted to try that.
Okay.
So.
Or you could just release them as you get them done.
Oh?
Did y'all hear that? I'm not really sure what that was.
I don't know if our trash or recycling gets collected today.
I think it's on Mondays.
I don't know. Anyway, that's all that's on my needles. What's on your needles?
Well, first up, I am working on a pair of socks for my bestie Katie's oldest son, Noah.
How old is he gonna be?
8. No! Pink Pearl's a little concerned about you, Dammy.
No!
These are my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, just with no heel in them, because tube socks last longer for kids. They're on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. The variegated is Kalispell sock in the Outland colorway, and the cuff and toe are Malabrio yarn sock in the Fresco y Seco colorway. So first sock is
Fresh
done.
and clean.
I'm working on the second sock. So I ended up not having as much as I thought left of this colorway. So what I did is I divided it in half, and then the green, I divided it in half, and I did the toe, and then the rest of the green that was left from half, I did the cuff with.
Are you okay?
Well, it seemed like it was trying to come undone, but I guess it's not.
It's probably just loose. Just close it up.
Okay, I will. I'll close it up when I weave in the ends. So, thusly, this cuff is much longer than, it's almost double the amount that I do normally on an adult sock.
It's cute.
But it's cute. It'll be fine. So, first sock is done. Second sock is in progress. The second thing I have on my needles, I'm not sure how, no, I did get some work done on it because I finished the front part and started on the back part of this particular section. What is going on here? Okay, this is my summer top by
Angstrik?
that. On US 3's 3.25 mil needles and US 4's 3.5 mil needles. And the yarn is Plymouth Yarn Linaza hand dyed in the mauve pink orange colorway. So I finished the front part to the bottom of the underarm, and it's on waist yarn. And then now I have picked up the back from waist yarn. There's knitting needles sticking through my thing. And am working on it. I did not get a lot done on this this week. I was out of town over the weekend.
And I had the apartment to myself with Pink.
Yes.
Partied hard.
But I just took with me Noah's socks to work on. And so, yeah. But I did get a little bit done on that. And then the next thing I'm working on is the Pom Pom Pop Shawl, which is a pattern by Juliet Williams. It's on US 6's 4 mil needles. And I'm using a little nitty diamond in the first I drink the coffee, then I do the things colorway, and the Ugh I Need a Taco colorway. Suburban Stitcher Sock in the Triflers Need Not Apply colorway, which is my favorite murder colorway she did for me. And Sun Soaked Sister Everything Earth in the pink, green, rust, and taupe colorways. So I am making good progress on it. And all of the contrast colors will show up, will pop much more when I add the pom-poms. So, yeah. So it's a very simple garter stitch project. It was originally done with one main color, but I decided to use two. And I love it. And I cannot wait for autumn so that I can wear it, because it makes me very happy. And then my non-knitting project is my English paper piecing. So I am almost done with this flower. I only have 3 more hexagons over here on this flower. And then I hopefully should be able to figure out measurements for the quilt to determine how many of these flowers I need to do. So all of the flowers have the gray center and the lavender top and bottom. And then one flower has one fabric as the inner and another as the outer, and then the other one has the outer as the inner and the inner as the outer. Clear as mud. So, yes, so I'm working on that. And that is everything that is currently on my needles. So, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project. Take 2.
Okay, but I'm going to slip take 1 in here right quick.
There, that was hilarious.
Dammy was trying to see how much battery was left on the iPad, which is what we used to record, and it actually accidentally flipped it to time lapse. And I realized it. I was like, "Oh my goodness, we're time lapsing!" Like as I finished talking about my project.
Good thing you only have 1 finished project
That's
instead
right.
of like 4.
Yeah. So this is my 25th preemie hat for the year. I feel like I've said this already. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4mm needles. The yarn, the purple is Lion Brand Heartland in the Hot Springs colorway. And then I held together a strand of Neighborhood Fiber Co. Rustic Fingering Gradients in the shades of Fuchsia, color A. And Pandia's Jewels hand-dyed yarn Snug in the Time Traveler colorway. Look how pretty that is, Dammy.
Yes.
I love this one.
Trying to figure out what this math is for. It's obviously important for something.
Is it having to do with different sizes?
Yeah! So I'm not gonna erase that. I'll visit it later.
Gosh, aren't you lucky to have such a smart
I was
mama?
like, these numbers, 36, 32, 28. Huh?
Aren't you glad you have such a smart mama?
I'm gonna change that though and make it actually look like a 10 and not a 16.
Do you see she's avoiding?
Thank you.
So, as far as stash, I am currently sitting at 10,544.4 meters completed. I need 4,455.6 meters more. I don't know if I'm going to get there. We've got just under 2 months left. But I have the shawl, which I think it's going to be around 900. I might make it with the shawl because it uses 2 full skeins of fingering plus the mini skeins. If I finish my summer top, because that's a 3 skein project, I've got Noah's socks here, and then I have the preemie hats continuing. So maybe we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to try. But my big goal for Stash this year was to finish the zigzag blanket, which is done. So, oh, look at her. Good girl.
Playing with her ball.
I'm going to put it at the end of the show, but Dammy took apart her orange tower ball toy that has ping pong balls in it that she can whack and they spin around. She took the bottom one off and put it on pink like a necklace or a collar. And
she's beautiful.
And you'll see that at the end, but Dammy left it taken apart and set a ping pong ball in the bottom layer, and she
batted it once. I was like, okay, I'm done.
She's like, I just had my 3rd breakfast. I'm going to look out the window now.
She's very messy. She dropped a whole large chunk in the area.
On Thursdays, Pink Pearl gets 1 can of wet food. The rest of the week, she gets dry food. Okay. Well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So this weekend, I helped my friend Yuko of Honeyberry Studios with a couple of shows that she was doing. And I didn't bring it over here, but she gave us a parcel of products that, like, she's no longer carrying or whatever, to be used as prizes. So we will start distributing those out through prizes in the days ahead. But she had released 4 new stickers, and she sent me one. She sent me the Self-Care is Not Selfish one, which I have on my water bottle that I take with me places. But I knew I wanted to get these other 3, and my trick is I put poster putty on the back of them and put them on the bathroom mirror because they're affirmations, and so you can be brushing your teeth and being affirmed, and that way you don't damage the mirror, and if you move, you can take it with you. So,
and because removing the back and sticking them somewhere is too much responsibility.
No, but I don't want to damage the mirror trying to take them off if we move out. So these are the 3 that came home with me. Yes, you can. You are brave, and listen to your body. She had this as the pink one and also with a yellow background, but she decided she liked the pink background better, and you know I was going to pick a pink background. So, there we go. I will be putting those on our mirror in the bathroom, and yeah, I've got some other ones of hers up there as well. So, and sticker that I got at Madrona, and a couple of other things. Maybe I'll take a picture and post it on the Instagrams. Yeah. So there's a link to her in our show notes if you want to go get your own stickers and or other things. Dammy, you received something this week.
Yes, from someone who's sitting right next to me, who bought it from Anne of Ann Tudor Designs, LLC. It's a mermaid.
And you can personalize it. You get to choose the hair, the eye color, and the skin tone. And so I was trying to make her look like Ariel.
Thank you.
Because Ariel is your favorite.
Yes.
And she wanted to be a mermaid when she grew up when she was little.
Thank you.
Yes. Do we have any other yummies?
No. Pink is yummy.
Pink is always yummy. Okay, well then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Yes, and we released the July prompts list today, which is kind of got summer celebration, that kind of stuff, and just more of our traditional crafting type prompts in it. And what was I going to say? On our website, geekygirlsknit.com, we do a post every month that has a prompts list. It has a section where it explains abbreviations that you might not know, or you're not sure what we were aiming for there. And then it talks about the different places you can post. But there also is, every month, we put all the prompts onto a Google Calendar, and you can subscribe to that Google Calendar and make it show up on your own Google Calendar. So, if you would like to do that, just to help you, because I know it helps me, like, when I look at my calendar.
Because you always have your calendar open.
Yeah, in my Gmail, I have my calendar always open on the side, but then also on my phone. I mean, like, I have it connected, and so I can look there and see what the prompt is. So, just throwing that out there in case you didn't know that. Yeah. So, Dammy, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody! Yay! It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day, and I know what today's prompt when we're recording is because I just looked it on my phone. Today's prompt is up. You interpret that however you would like, and we're very cheater friendly on that. You post it on wherever you want to, but we pick our favorites from Instagram. So make sure you post on Instagram in the caption. Make sure you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photos. You can also tag them GGK Kitty Pad, GGK Puppy Pad, and GGK Puggy Pad because those are other ones that have cropped up. And yours might get chosen. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something. I guess not. Upcoming events. Knitting in the Park in Allen, Washington on Sunday the 14th of July. We'll have a little table there with our 3 books. The Fall Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl is the first weekend in October. And I'll be going to a 1-day knitting retreat hosted by Allen Knit Shop in November, which is currently full, but you can contact them for a waiting list. Are you going anywhere?
No.
Okay. Well, you're going to Knitting in the Park.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
I'm reading my pattern and writing it. I'm reading Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and The Glass Scientist, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
Are you enjoying Good Omens?
Yep.
Is it...
Gomans.
What?
Gomans.
Omens? Okay.
Good Omens.
Gomans. How true is it? How true was the TV show to the book?
More or less. I mean, Neil Gaiman did write the TV show.
I know, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's things that can't be done, but cool. Cool. Well, I assume you're getting your 15 minutes a day in?
Yes.
What am I referring to, Dammy?
The April, May, June RAL read along, which is almost over.
Yes. So this is your challenge to read 15 minutes a day, every day. We don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading something. Audiobooks do count. And we have the 4 seasonal RALs, as well as the year-long RAL, which you earn entries into by doing the seasonal RALs. And we will have 3 grand prizes at the beginning of 2020. And you might be a winner. It's never too late to join in. All the details are in the show notes and in the Ravelry group. As far as what I'm reading, Dammy, it's a momentous day.
Oh.
I finished reading The Road Back to You, an Enneagram Journey to Self-Discovery by Ian Morgan Cron and Susan Stabile.
Wow.
I've been reading that for a while, y'all.
Wow.
I'm listening to the last podcast episode about the songs that Sleeping at Last wrote. He wrote a song for each type of the Enneagram, each of the 9 types, and then did a podcast episode about that Enneagram type, as well as about the writing of the song. So, finish listening to that, and I will be done with that project that I've been doing. I'm continuing to read Mindful Eating, A Guide to Rediscovering a Healthy and Joyful Relationship with Food by Jan Chosen Bays. It's an interesting read. There's some stuff I don't agree with, but I think you have that in almost any book. You know, there's stuff you're going to agree with and stuff you're not going to agree with. So, I am continuing to reread Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is the 4th book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm rereading that along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week's episode was Padfoot Returns. On Sunday, I think that's the day they release, Swish and Flick is going to be releasing their 100th episode.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a special episode, so I won't have a chapter for next week that I've read and listened to, because they're going to do that special episode for their 100th episode. So, and I read a lot this week. A lot. I finished reading My Sister the Serial Killer by... Do you want to try to pronounce that?
Ian Ken Braithwaite?
That sounds good. It was totally not what I was expecting, but it was a good read. And then I read Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Oh, that one is a really good one. I highly recommend that one. And then, so if you are a Amazon Prime member, every month you get to pick one free book out of, like, they have like 5 or 6 or whatever that you can pick from. And I had just been like, I would pick them and get them into our account, and then I just kind of, they've been sitting there. And so over the weekend, I read a bunch of them. So the first one I read was Trance, which is book 1 in the Alex Madsen series by Adam Southward. That one was kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I read Thin Air by which is book number 1 in the Jessica Shaw series by Lisa Gray. Really enjoyed that one. The basic premise is this woman who's a private detective, private investigator, discovers that she is this child that has been missing for like 20 some odd years. And then I read One Word Kill, which is book 1 in the Impossible Times series by Mark Lawrence. This feeds into very geeky things. Dungeons and Dragons plays a big part in the story, and there's time travel in the story. So that one was really good. And then what I'm currently reading is The Rescue, which is book 1 in the Ryan Decker series by Stephen Concoli. We'll go with that. So, yeah. I'm waiting on several books to come from that are on my hold list at the library. So, yeah. Okay, watching. I watched a couple of Hallmark movies this week. I watched The Last Bridesmaid, and I watched Mystery 101 Playing Dead. I finished watching the series of Jessica Jones. I did not see the last few episodes coming, like what happened. I didn't expect it to go that way, but I think they did a really good job with it, and I enjoyed that. I just started yesterday watching Instinct, season 1. Season 2 actually starts this weekend, and the premise of it is a retired CIA agent turned professor and author pairs up to work with a police detective. And it's got Alan Cumming as the lead, and what's his name that played Saeed in Lost?
Naveen Andrews.
He's in it. Whoopi Goldberg is in it. The woman that in Oklahoma.
Ali Stroker.
She was a guest in one of the episodes I watched yesterday. So I'm watching that, and then I'll pick up with the new episodes starting on Sunday. Do you want to talk about the next couple things?
Sure. We finished season 1 of Victoria. Now we're watching series 2.
What do you think about it?
Yes.
Okay, can you say more words than that?
No, it's good.
Yeah, it's got Jenna Coleman as the lead. And I was like thinking, because we watched, okay, we just kicked her water over. Don't worry, it's a closed bottle. It's fine. We watched the end of series 1 last night, and I was like reflecting later about how much they covered in those 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. I mean, to her not being the queen even yet, all the way till after having her first child. So that was a lot of timeline they covered in just 8 episodes. So, yeah. Okay, and then what else?
We're watching Elementary season 7. Stuff happened.
I can't remember.
I'm sure it did.
What was that episode? Because we watched some of this before we left to go out of town, and then it was like, wait, what did we watch?
Oh, things happened, you know.
Things happen. Joan.
Oh, the guy named Reichenbach.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Reichenbach. Into the Woods, wasn't it? Yes.
And Out of the Woods.
Yeah. So I guess they're going to carry that storyline a little ways.
Well, to the end of the season. Wow, I sure hope no one dies.
To the end of the show. Because this is their last season. And then I'm watching season 5 of Good Witch. We still have an episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to watch, but we haven't watched it yet. But we'll get to that. And then I, of course, have been listening to the My Favorite Murder podcast. Patton Oswalt was a guest on it in the episode they released today, it was a live show that they had done. We've got the Hadestown original Broadway cast recording. I was going to say, and then I got confused because it's abbreviated in the show notes, and so
You can just say OBCR.
OBCR. we're listening to that. When did the next songs coming out?
I don't know.
I think it's next week, maybe. Anyway, we can look. But and what are you listening to, Dammy?
Cabin Pressure and Kiss Me Kate, 2019.
You changed your avatar to characters from Kiss Me Kate.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is everything we are reading, watching, and listening to. So I think we are ready for the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Al.
Tell us about it, Dammy.
So this Al runs from the 1st of June through the 31st of August. And this is for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to summer. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of June and finished no later than the 31st of August, unless you're knitting the My Favorite Murder mystery wrap, which you can enter as long as you finish it by the 31st of August.
Yes.
The other main rule is that each project of at least 20 yards that you finish and post in the FO thread counts as one entry. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. You can feel free to polydip in other owls as long as it fits in with the other rules. That's totally fine. We have a new prize this week, which we're going to mention.
Yes, we have the My Only Goal is Just to Be pattern. This is a Rent-inspired pattern by Monique Leonard, who is Windswept Monique on Ravelry. It's really, really cool because you knit it, but then you use a ribbon to go through it to kind of make the timeline of your life. It's really cool. So thank you to Monique for donating a copy of that pattern.
Yeah, and thank you to all our sponsors and people who've donated prizes. If you would like to get a closer look at our prizes, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com, or you can tune in to the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail.
That's next week.
If you're interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pro on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you'd like to tag your projects or post on social media. It's GGK Summertime 19. The FO thread will be locked on the morning of 1st of September, and winners will be drawn and announced on the next podcast after that. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize, or they forfeit it. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you all can chat and discuss project progress, and where I give shoutouts to people who finish projects in a week, and I also do that here. So, D-Door4, DG White, I Now Hour, I Knit Socks 2, Jodidiah, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Lil Angel SG2, Lil Mermaid, Mary Beth 1199, Mystery Sewer, Original Sin, Restrauss, Silver Luna 2112, VT Kimmy Kim, and Yellcat 2.
Great job, everybody. You've got a little over 2 months to go, so keep working on your projects and get them posted. All right, on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so what is this week's question, Dammy?
This week's question is from Amy, who is A. Bingham from California. As you listen to other podcasters, so this question is for you, knitting podcasts, reading podcasts, other activity-related podcasts, do you compare yourself to others? Does hearing what others are doing or planning, does that make you evaluate or reevaluate your progress, plans, and things you are doing? I find myself doing that and then have to remind myself that I am not in a competition with anyone else, and to compare myself only to my past self. Thoughts?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's just human nature to compare yourself, in all areas of life. What?
I'm agreeing with you through a nervous laugh.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm just a little jealous of the Jimmy Award winners.
Yes. Tell them what that is.
The Jimmy Awards, they're a local Seattle thing, but they go to New York and perform, and it's basically Tonys for high school students, so students who have been in high school productions of musicals, and a bunch of Tony Jimmy Award winners are currently on Broadway, including Stephanie Styles, and you know,
Cool.
they're just so young, but they're so good already.
Yes.
Anyway, continue.
Yes. Yeah. So, gosh, especially when it's like, oh, why do they have such a big audience? Or, why do they get those sponsors or whatever? But, I mean, I'm happy with the podcast that we do. It's not like everybody else's podcast. We do different things. And the community that we've built is amazing. It has gotten us through a lot of life circumstances, from when I was so sick and pretty much homebound. And it was really my community, all the way through, moved to Scotland, moved back to the U.S., all kinds of things. Dammy going to college.
She's got her face in the corner.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at Pink Pearl.
Yeah, she's got her face in the
No,
corner.
I mean like as what I was saying.
Now she's like,
Silly girl. And yeah, on good days it's like, okay, yes, we are doing what we need to be doing, and the people who are involved are the right people to be involved. Yeah. I think also kind of as part of that, this, I'll be 42 in a few months. July, August, September, October. A little over 3 months, I'll be 42. And something that I'm continuing to learn and have to remind myself pretty much on a daily basis is something that is actually on my bathroom mirror. And it says, what others think of me is none of my business. It's actually also in front of my desk. And so there's that comparison thing too of, we aren't the end all be all for everyone, and what might be the perfect podcast for one person to watch may not appeal to someone else. And so, just trying to remember that, and trying to remember that we're all on our own journey, and and just to be accepting of that and kind to ourselves as we go along. And yeah, sure, there's those moments, those times of jealousy and comparison, but that's something that I think even some of the big name podcasters think and feel. So we all can only live our own lives, and we can't, as much as like the saying goes, you can't really walk a mile in anyone else's shoes. So did I answer it all? I felt like I was starting to ramble.
do you find yourself reevaluating your progress?
Oh, progress plans, things we're doing. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish that I knit as fast as they do, or that I
Super fast.
or that I had more disposable income to be able to go to events and things. But yeah, that's hard. But I think that I can only do what I can do, and from podcasts that I watch and listen to, sometimes I'm inspired to try something that I wouldn't have thought to try, or challenge myself in a way that I haven't in the past. So I think it can be a good thing to reflect on what others are doing, and see if that's something that can be a positive encouragement or challenge to me to do and try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything to any of that? I know you don't really watch and listen to podcasts, but in daily life, there's comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, just like what you were saying, of the Jimmy award winners and such. Do you have any words you would like to speak?
Ah.
That was a sound. That was a syllable. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Amy. That was a really thought-provoking question. I've been thinking about it all week. So, when we finish recording the podcast on Thursdays, if it's a normal week, and I finish editing and I get the show notes and everything all good to go, so Dammy and I share a Google document where we put stuff in over the course of the week for the podcast. And so once I finish editing and uploading the podcast and get all the show notes on the website done and everything, I go through and I edit the Google Doc for the coming week. And so I always put the new Ask the Geeky Girls question in. And so when I put it in a week ago and read it, it's something I've been thinking about all week. Yeah. So thank you, Amy, for asking. I hope that answered your question. I hope I didn't ramble too much and that it made sense. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. Okay, let's move on to the next segment. Kinky, we made it to the end of the show. Can you say hello? Say hi. Hi. Okay, let me down, Dammy. Go. There you go. We made it to the end of the show. Dammy, do we have any announcements?
Pink is great.
Pink is great.
Pink is good. Let us thank her for our food. Because she hunts and kills her jingle ball and brings it to us to eat.
In the middle of the night. Okay, I think we just have our normal stuff. A huge thank you to everyone who supports the podcast. Especially in the course of what has happened over the last week and in the last few months. There's a lot of talk in the knitting world, and a lot of feelings, and a lot of really bad things and a lot of really good things. And I just want to say thank you, especially to those of you who support us and our podcast. I know it's not the right fit for everyone, but we are grateful for those of you who do make time to hang out with us every week. So we love you guys. Especially thank you to those of you who support the podcast financially. Unfortunately, it does cost money to do a podcast, so we're grateful for those of you who help us pay for that. There are 3 main ways you can support the podcast financially. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount of money a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on your donation. If you would like to know more about it or would like to sign up, Dammy, where should they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first and click on the appropriate link or image in the sidebar or at the bottom of each show notes entry, and then just do your shopping as normal on Amazon, and we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Well, with that, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yes. Well, with that, we hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Remember to be kind to each other, especially in the midst of these difficult times right now that we're all dealing with. And happy crafting, and we love you guys, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.
Pinky, I love your new fashion sense. Is it a necklace?
It's a collar.
Oh.
Collar.
Do they all come apart or only just the bottom?
They all come apart. If I can get it off.
What are you doing, Pinky? What do you think? You're not happy about this? And please take notice of the way she holds the blinds open with her tail. You're a silly girl. Oh, you're gonna lay down? Maybe.
Yeah. Won't come apart.